Um,
Yeah,
Hello,
hello,
Roman.
Sergey. Yeah, hello, Alex.
Yeah, we are welcoming you here on our virtual stage. I will briefly introduce our next speaker, whose name is Roman Kravchenko. He is the CEO and founder of 482 Solutions and Electrodo. He also serves as an ambassador of GBBC, which stands for Global Blockchain Business Council. And the topic of his presentation will be blockchain, institutions, and markets. Over to you, Roman. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sergey, for invitation, for such opportunity to share some of our modest experience in this area. Do you see my presentation?
No, we do not. Yeah, I can.
One moment.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
it's okay.
here it is. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello, colleagues. My name is Roman Kravchenko. I'm CEO of 482 Solutions, and today I will provide some our experience of using blockchain from the point of view of institutional economics. Briefly about my background, I have experience more than 15 years in ICT and digital economy, more than 7 years of this experience in academic area, and last 7 years our company and I personally involved in different Web3 and blockchain related topics. My area of professional interest is building Web3 and blockchain platforms and protocols, using blockchain for building institutions and ecosystems, first of all, industrial ecosystems and transactive economy. Today, this brief agenda of my presentation, I will share some key concepts of new institutional economics related to using blockchain as paradigm and approach, and we also try to understand what the markets, networks, and transaction costs, and how we can use blockchain to manage transaction and value inside these markets and networks. And I will provide some few of our industrial use cases related to these topics. Very briefly about our company, we are a Ukrainian company and also have Singaporean international office, and focusing on engineering, industrial Web3 and blockchain-based platforms, protocols for green energy, green finance, and sustainable value chain sectors. We are partnering with leading Web3 and blockchain related organizations like Global Blockchain Business Council. Also, we participated in one of the working group of European Blockchain Association. In Singapore, we are a member of one of the Center of Innovation for Energy, and focusing on our key topic of using blockchain for building energy infrastructure. Also, we are technological partner of Energy Web Consortium, in which participate such companies like Siemens, Schneider, General Electric, and we are working together with Energy Web on building some components of Energy Web technological ecosystem. All in Ukraine, we are strategic partner of DTEC in the direction using applied blockchain solution in energy sector. Also, in addition of our collaboration with business, we have a lot of activities in Ukraine with Ukrainian universities and research institutions, like National University of Kyiv-Mohyl Academy, in Odessa, this National University Metchnikov. In Singapore, we are partnering with Singapore Institute of Technology. And also, when we have free time, we working on research studies and have some publication in IEEE and other international journals. So current presentation is the continuation of our previous research study. We published result of the research study in IEEE repository, and this topic has focused on using blockchain for building a cluster economic system with digital twins. And this presentation, our next step and our current status of this topic. And if briefly, we had a lot of investigation how we can use blockchain for building institutions. And last 3 years, we are focusing on building institutions for some specific industrial topic, like sustainable industrial clusters. So let's start from overview of technological evolution. We move from 19th century from industrial technology to 20th century to information technology, and now we are on our early stage of understanding how we can use the next era of technology, blockchain and fintech, different components of fintech machines. And this topic is related to evolution also of key assets that we need to manage. On the first stage, we manage energy, and human build different machines to manage energy, different energy types and sources of energy. On the next stage, there was the era of data management, machine and technology, and now they are on the stage of understanding and designing the value management machine. And this evolution also reflects to evolution of firm and enterprise. If previously companies focusing on building and using manufacturing execution system, for example, for manage manufacturing and production process, also this combination of enterprise resource planning platform and finally of using some components of business process management system. Now firm need to move to the next stage to understand how we can build value process management and or enterprise value planning platform. So it's new type of industrial platforms which focuses on different aspects of gathering, calculation, processing, and sharing of value across value chain. So as conclusion, we can say about evolution from industrial enterprise to financial institutions. So all like industrial firms finally will move to a financial institution and start to focus on financial asset and transaction management. And how we can understand this concept? We can't use traditional like classic economics to describe this system. So we need a new paradigm, new approach of describing such evolution process and a new organization structure of industrial ecosystem. And we inspired of few directions of new institutional economics. First of all, this theory of transaction costs from Ronald Coase. And briefly, I will provide some definition and key concepts of a new institutional economics. First of all, institution. This some rules of the game or some rules of the communication between persons and organizations in the form of, for example, some laws on some constraints, informal or formal constraints, such norms of behavior, conventions, or even agreement between organization. The next key concept is institute. And we can define institute as organization, a group of individuals bound by some common purpose to achieve the common goals. So there are differences between institution and institute. Institution is about rules of game, and institute it's about the players of this game. In this aspect, we will talk about economic interactions. Also, when we need to describe such new economic approach, we need to provide a definition of transaction. So transaction is the transfer or the process of transfer of or exchange of ownership of value. So it's can be exchange of goods, services, or different assets, both tangible or intangible, across a technological separable interface. For example, it can be some market, energy market, where we generate different types of energy and share this energy sources across this market. Also, we can define transaction as the process of establishing and maintaining property rights of this value. And in this case, also we need to describe two key components of institutional economies: market and firm. Market is a contractual framework or some institutes combined within which a transaction is located. And so market is environmental where some organization and individuals can interact between each other and create and share some types of value in the form of different assets. And the key component of transaction cost theory from knowledge calls is the firm. We can define the firm as the system of economic relationship or transaction organized in the hierarchy managed by entrepreneur. And entrepreneur can use contracts to reduce transaction costs. So such costs that we need to pay for making these economic interactions. And we can define transaction costs also as a cost for transaction execution or as a fee for using the different institutes, for example, market or price mechanism, and also similar different institutes. Transaction cost divided by few categories. The first category is the costs of search and searching information. So this payment which organization pay for finding some information about counterparty on the market, and the cost of searching for products, sellers and buyers. The second type, this is the contracting costs. So this is the costs of execution, bargain, and setting up and carry out the contract and agreement between counterparties. The third type, this monitoring costs, this is the cost that we need to pay for ensuring that the terms of this contract or agreement have been met. Like final type is adaptation costs, the costs incurred in making changes during the life of the contract or agreement. So this is like the cost of maintenance of our agreement. And the key impact of transaction cost theory that was described by Ronald Coase in 1937, that he proved that external, so in market transaction cost, more than internal intra-firm transaction cost. And this is the main reason that we can see a lot of firm in the market. This important, based on this important conclusion, later was described a theorem named by Coase, and there are some few conditions of this Ronald Coase theorem. So if we can build open and competitive market, if we can provide and guarantee free access to market information, if the property right clearly defined in this on this market, and we can minimize transaction cost. So in this case, we can transform external transaction costs, so market transaction costs, to internal transaction costs, and can achieve high level of efficiency of economy interaction between participants of this economies. Like we can say about economic equilibrium in this case. And our idea was to provide the application of this Ronald Coase theorem in line of using blockchain technology. So we can use different blockchain related technological solution to meet these conditions of theorem. So, for example, we can use approach of building open DAO to build open and competitive, fully competitive market and provide some consensus mechanism which provide communication layer and agreement layer for participants. Also, we can use public blockchain for market transactions, not for all data, but for market transaction, and all market participants can see this data and can free access for this data. We can guarantee property rights on assets using self-sovereign identity, for example, or different application of digital identifiers standards, and using Web3 protocols, we can minimize transaction cost. And based on this fourth component, we can build a new type of economy. This we can say about industrial digital economy that based on combination of different platforms, market platforms, instead the using market mechanism. So move on, describe also the such component of this cluster economy, this value. We can define value as social relation taken as a thing, or more simple is the different types of products, services, and assets. And we can define values, measure of the benefit provided by these goods or services to economic actors, some stakeholders in economic system. Value in this case is linked to price. So through the mechanism of exchange, value can be tangible and intangible. And in the new era of a new type of economy, the more valuable will be intangible assets. So we need new types of institutes which we use to which we can use to describe how we can create guarantee ownership for this intangible value and providing instruments and mechanisms of sharing this value. So in this case, we can talk about blockchain and using blockchain technology as a next generation platform, and we can this blockchain is one of the blockchain technology. It's one of the type of fintech machine, and blockchain can provide out of the box provide the necessary mechanism for value management. So starting from approaches and technological solution based on SSI and verifiable credentials, we can prove and provide guarantees on of ownership of the assets. Also, blockchain platforms provide the layers of execution transactions in the open ledgers. So all participants of the system can check and get proof of execution some transaction to understand, for example, the real price of exchange some assets. Also, one of the application of blockchain, this tokenization mechanism. So we can tokenize different types of real assets or intangible assets in form of standardized tokens, and we can consider these tokens as pieces of value that we can share across technological networks. And using smart contracts, we can provide the mechanism of this agreement between counterparties of the economy. And smart contracts is one of the powerful component of this, to build this value management mechanism, and finally to build value management machine. So smart contracts, it's not about execution transaction without third party, but first of all, it's about transformation of different institutes in the form of source code, in the form of automated executed source code. And in this case, we can transform different institutes in the market in the form of smart contracts, and we don't need to pay fees for using some institutes, but instead we need to pay some small amount to execution smart contracts and sharing or storing some information about assets across this value chain. Here you can see the system design of value management machine. So we describe it, this machine as three-layer technology machine. On the first layer, you can see hardware layer, this different combination of smart things like smart devices, machines. In the case of, for example, energy system, we can talked about different energy machines that generate energy, different types of energy. It can be solar panels in the case of generating renewable energy, or different types of energy machines. On the second layer, we need to manage data and information. In this case, we aggregate different smart things in the networks, and need to build the layer of web or IoT applications to manage these different machines. And based on these two layers, we can build intangible layer or machine of value using blockchain, different blockchain related mechanism like smart contract, apps, and so on. And on this layer, we can start manage the assets, different assets in the form of tokens, and we can manage finally the value and exchange value across all participants in this cluster economy. And this, in nutshell, the third intangible layer of value management machine. A typical value management machine, there are the first component, identity access management, and we can provide mechanism for authorization, registration, authorization, authentication for different actors in this system. On the second layer, there are depository or asset lifecycle management layer. Also, we need the layer to exchange the ownership and in the form of, for example, contracts or agreements. This layer provides the functionality of ownership management on assets. Then the next level, the settlement level, there we execute and finalize the transaction and can provide payments for all participants or all stakeholders in this cluster economy. And finally, some application layer to interaction with human or machine. Let's finalize our presentation by providing some details about industrial use case. So it's not about just theory, but we also focusing on implementation, real implementation of this approach described previously, to build some components of future cluster economy. Like our focus on building approach, how we can transit from enterprise economy to cluster economy. So cluster economy, it's about combination of different economic agents like firms and organizations in the same borderless environment with the similar and understandable rules of interactions or institutes to execute economic transaction between these economic agents. And based on this story, we can build we named this recursive sustainable cluster economy. So this economy has such properties as recursivity, emergency, and sustainability. And theoretically, we can build like economy without any markets mechanism, but this theoretically. But the real goal is moving to building such industrial economy in which we can reduce the using of market mechanism, and we transform these non-effective and very non-effective economic mechanism by building market platforms and different economic application inside this economy, and that's why we can achieve the high level of efficiency and productivity of such industrial cluster economy. As the proof and example, in European Union, there are more than 3,000 of clusters, and worldwide, there are more than 7,000 clusters. And average productivity in clusters is more than 25 higher than average productivity on the industry. And also, like very interesting metric that some of high performing cluster has has the productivity more than 100 above average. So we can combining and building some cluster based industrial economy, we can achieve high productivity, and also add some components of blockchain technology and transforming some interaction between the participants of these clusters in the form of smart contracts and self-executed agreement. We can achieve very low transaction cost in this system, and that's why it will be a very high efficient economy. And a few details about first use case. Together with Deep Tech in 2022, we finalized the first stage of project of building first Ukrainian B2B marketplace for energy market. And we analyze the current situation of the Ukrainian law in this in energy sector, and the current situation of energy infrastructure. And based on this investigation, we built first version of this digital platform, which provide and demonstrate how we can step by step evolutionally can change some elements of interaction of this on this market, energy market. I mean, by using blockchain related technology, smart contracts, and mechanism of tokenization. Hope we'll continue this project on the next stage, and but the first stage we finalized with success, and we together with the tech, we understand that in the condition of Ukrainian energy infrastructure and Ukrainian legislative system, we can launch such platform. The second use case is our last experiment under the IFA Trust program with one of the sub-project of Horizon 2020. And during this experiment, we built data space and environment of interaction between industrial enterprises, producer and consumers, both in the same system. So this like first example of building cluster-based economy, and using combination of different technology from, first of all, IFA Trust. This technological solution allow us to build data management layer based on standardized protocols and technological solution which fully compliant with European Union digital infrastructure. Also, we use in this experiment some components of Hyperledger Fabric framework to manage transaction between participants, and it was the first real example of building cluster-based, decentralized, industrial decentralized economic system. So we'll continue soon this experiment by inviting some industrial clusters in the next stage of experiment. So yeah, that's was the example how we can move from market-based economy to cluster-based economy, and instead to pay for market mechanism, we can pay for execution transaction inside the industrial fintech platforms as components of this cluster economy. So few takeaways related to the topic of current conference. It's the thoughts about using such approach. So Ukraine need to take the best practices from European Union of building cluster-based industrial economy, and like on the stage of their building our economy, we need to understand how we can use this new approach and new technological solutions to transform non-effective market mechanism in high efficiency transactive mechanism to guarantee the economic equilibrium in such economic system. Okay, that's it for this time. If you have questions, I will be happy to provide answers.
Yeah, Roman, thank you so much for very informative presentation. So one of the answers you have already provided, because there were people, please return to the previous slide, because there were people who were asking how to get in touch with you. So this is the answer. So yeah, let's keep it for some time. Unless you need to return to the previous slide, we can, yeah. So basically, yeah, thank you for providing the contact information because people were asking. I wanted to ask, this was very informative, very detailed presentation. We should remember that not all of on these conferences, not all of visitors are from academy or industry field. I would like to ask on the very high level, what are the key elements which should be preserved for this new institutional economics to exist? Is it law? Is it regulations? Is it the way we're doing some like business related activities, the way we educate people?
Mm-hmm.
So what are these key factors?
Yes, thank you, Sergey. This is like a key question, and what we need to start first of from what our first stage. We need to provide the clear and understandable rules of guarantee of the ownership rights in such system for organization, for business, first of all, and it can be the first powerful motivation to understand that the businesses can start invest in our internal economy. Also, this approach can attract the international investors, and there are a lot of examples of sustainable, stable economy, where this the key elements of interactions, I mean the ownership of property rights, was guaranteed by government and some different institutions. So we need to start from this point and provide clear, understandable rules and laws on how we can create, protect, and share ownership rights on not only tangible but also for intangible assets. And there are like one of the low efficiency in Ukrainian laws, unfortunately, and one of the compromise in this case, this using some kind of sandboxes to build like private environment where we can start demonstrate some components and elements of this new agreements between government, businesses, and other stakeholders in this economy.
Got it. Thank you so much. That provides a very good answer to the question. Let me check if anyone else have any other questions, and I kindly request you to return to the previous slide, to the final slide. So somebody who was asking your the other direction. Yeah, this slide. So yeah, please, somebody who was asking Roman's contact can make a screenshot. And yeah, please let us know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we will be moving to the next speaker.
Yeah. Thank you, Sergis. Thank you, colleagues, for your time. Yeah, keep in touch. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you so much, Roman. Thank you.